Hello, here is your daily devotional today, straight from the book Open Heavens by Pastor E A Adeboye, to help shape your day and guide you as you navigate through. Please follow us, subscribe, like, share, and click the notification bell for more of our contents. God bless you. Open Heavens, 21st September 2025, Sunday Daily Devotional by Pastor E A Adeboye. Time and Chance. Memory verse. I returned and saw under the sun that the race is not to the swift, nor the battle to the strong, neither yet bread to the wise, nor yet riches to men of understanding, nor yet favor to men of skill. Ecclesiastes chapter 9 verse 11. Bible reading 1 Samuel chapter 17 verses 12 through 50. I read from the New Living Translation. Now, David was the son of a man named Jesse, an Ephrathite from Bethlehem in the land of Judah. Jesse was an old man at that time, and he had 8 sons. Jesse's 3 oldest sons, Eliab, Abinadab, and Shimea, had already joined Saul's army to fight the Philistines. David was the youngest son. David's 3 oldest brothers stayed with Saul's army, but David went back and forth so he could help his father with the sheep in Bethlehem. For 40 days, every morning and evening, the Philistine champion strutted in front of the Israelite army. One day, Jesse said to David, "Take this basket of roasted grain and these 10 loaves of bread and carry them quickly to your brothers, and give these 10 cuts of cheese to their captain. See how your brothers are getting along and bring back a report on how they are doing." David's brothers were with Saul and the Israelite army at the valley of Elah, fighting against the Philistines. So David left the sheep with another shepherd and set out early the next morning with the gifts as Jesse had directed him. He arrived at the camp just as the Israelite army was leaving for the battlefield with shouts and battle cries. Soon, the Israelite and Philistine forces stood facing each other, army against army. David left his things with the keeper of supplies and hurried out to the ranks to greet his brothers. As he was talking with them, Goliath, the Philistine champion from Gath, came out from the Philistine ranks. Then David heard him shout his usual taunt to the army of Israel. As soon as the Israelite army saw him, they began to run away in fright. "Have you seen the giant?" the men asked. "He comes out each day to defy Israel. The king has offered a huge reward to anyone who kills him. He will give that man one of his daughters for a wife, and the man's entire family will be exempted from paying taxes." David asked the soldiers standing nearby, "What will a man get for killing this Philistine and ending his defiance of Israel? Who is this pagan Philistine anyway, that he is allowed to defy the armies of the living God?" And these men gave David the same reply. They said, "Yes, that is the reward for killing him." But when David's oldest brother, Eliab, heard David talking to the men, he was angry. "What are you doing around here anyway?" he demanded. "What about those few sheep you're supposed to be taking care of? I know about your pride and deceit. You just want to see the battle." "What have I done now?" David replied. "I was only asking a question." He walked over to some others and asked them the same thing and received the same answer. Then David's question was reported to King Saul, and the king sent for him. "Don't worry about this Philistine," David told Saul. "I'll go fight him." "Don't be ridiculous," Saul replied. "There's no way you can fight this Philistine and possibly win. You're only a boy, and he's been a man of war since his youth." But David persisted. "I have been taking care of my father's sheep and goats," he said. "When a lion or a bear comes to steal a lamb from the flock, I go after it with a club and rescue the lamb from its mouth. If the animal turns on me, I catch it by the jaw and club it to death. I have done this to both lions and bears, and I'll do it to this pagan Philistine too, for he has defied the armies of the living God. The Lord who rescued me from the claws of the lion and the bear will rescue me from this Philistine." Saul finally consented. "All right, go ahead," he said, "and may the Lord be with you." Then Saul gave David his own armor, a bronze helmet and a coat of mail. David put it on, strapped the sword over it, and took a step or two to see what it was like, for he had never worn such things before. "I can't go in this," he protested to Saul. "I'm not used to them." So David took them off again. He picked up 5 smooth stones from a stream and put them into his shepherd's bag. Then, armed only with his shepherd's staff and sling, he started across the valley to fight the Philistine. Goliath walked out toward David with his shield-bearer ahead of him, sneering in contempt at this ruddy-faced boy. "Am I a dog?" he roared at David, "that you come at me with a stick?" And he cursed David by the names of his gods. "Come over here, and I'll give you flesh to the birds and wild animals," Goliath yelled. David replied to the Philistine, "You come to me with sword, spear, and javelin, but I come to you in the name of the Lord of heaven's armies, the God of the armies of Israel, whom you have defied. Today, the Lord will conquer you, and I will kill you and cut off your head. And then I will give the dead bodies of your men to the birds and wild animals, and the whole world will know that there is a God in Israel. And everyone assembled here will know that the Lord rescues his people, but not with sword and spear. This is the Lord's battle, and he will give you to us." As Goliath moved closer to attack, David quickly ran out to meet him. Reaching into his shepherd's bag and taking out a stone, he hurled it with a sling and hit the Philistine in the forehead. The stone sank in, and Goliath stumbled and fell face down on the ground. So David triumphed over the Philistine with only a sling and a stone, for he had no sword. Then David ran over, pulled Goliath's sword from its sheath. David used it to kill him and cut off his head. May the Lord bless the reading of his words. Message. There is a popular saying that good luck is when opportunity meets preparation. This is very true. A person can dream about achieving a particular feat, but if he or she does not prepare adequately towards this, when the opportunity comes, the fellow will be caught unawares, and it will become obvious that he or she never prepared for it. In today's Bible reading, you will observe that David had been preparing himself for war while he was in the desert tending sheep. He had no weapons, but he continually trained until he mastered how to use a sling perfectly. His lucky day came when he encountered Goliath and defeated him with just one swing of his sling. Bible quote. So David prevailed over the Philistine with a sling and with a stone, and smote the Philistine and slew him. But there was no sword in the hand of David. 1 Samuel chapter 17 verse 50. Unlike David, Rehoboam wasn't prepared for the throne of Israel. Although he was the son of King Solomon, who many considered to be Israel's wisest king, he was very foolish. He was the heir to the throne, and it would have been expected that he would have been preparing for the day he would become king. Unfortunately, he wasn't prepared for something that he knew was coming, and he failed. 2 Chronicles chapter 10, verses 1 through 19. When a student knows that a school examination is coming and he or she doesn't prepare, such a student can be said to be foolish. As a member of staff in an organization, when a fellow knows that there will be regular performance appraisals and doesn't do his or her job well, that fellow is foolish and cannot be promoted. If a pastor who knows that he or she will preach a message on Sunday does not fast, pray, or study for the message, he or she is the devil hindering his or her own growth. When the time for a big breakthrough comes in your life, I pray that you will be prepared in Jesus' name. Today's memory verse says that time and chance happens to every human being on the earth. This means that every human being on the earth will have opportunities to advance in life. However, only those who are prepared will recognize those opportunities when they come and maximize them. Beloved, you must continuously increase your capacity, especially in areas you are seeking advancement, so that when opportunities come your way, you will be prepared to make the best of them. Reflection. What are you doing now to prepare for the day your big opportunity comes? Bible in 1 year, Jonah, chapters 1 through 4. Hymn for the day, hymn number 26. There shall be showers of blessing. Open Heavens Daily Devotional Guide was written by Pastor E A Adeboye, the General Overseer of the Redeemed Christian Church of God, and audio production by RCCG Open Heavens Parish, Orunshi, Stockton, California.